All right, so this time, Star's got his grips, I break, and you'll notice that everyone kind of adjusts as we move progressively in these situationals. Everyone's kind of taking a different method. In this case, Star left himself in a position where I felt like his left elbow is going to be close enough to his body where I can just drop down into that arm trap to break his posture. So we start here, dropping around, trying to lock out the bicep and close that guard around here. From there, the right thing to do would be to put his hand on my stomach, but because I kind of guided it this direction, he makes a slightly different choice. He looks for a little wrist control there, and then at that point, he realizes that wrist control is a really bad idea, and he tries to post on the body. But again, it's very, very difficult to fight the pulling of my knees to my chest with one hand on me. So from right there, it's pretty easy for me to pull him into a position where I can start to go to a lock. Now, what he did here was interesting. He has his hand on his forehead, and he's got his elbow dug into my hip. Now, depending on the size of your partner and the size of your legs, this can actually cause a bit of a problem. In this case, it makes it really hard for me to adjust. His body weight reinforcing that elbow wedge is making it hard for me to kind of shift it out of place or get my knee to a higher position. So we'll see here, I'll speed it up a little bit. All right, so after this happened, so we were having a little battle for control here, but it was really kind of an insignificant battle. At this point, his left hand is going to come in and it's going to reinforce this grip. Now you see that? He's got it there just to make sure that I can't move this hand out of the way. The problem with that is now he has nothing to base with to this direction. He's actually kind of, because he's picking his foot up, he's also leaning himself that way a little bit too. So in this case, I'm trying to see if I can make any adjustments. I try to punch him in the throat, it's not happening. I try to go to the slap bracelet and it didn't work. I could tell it wasn't going to work, so I removed my foot. Now pay attention. I'm going to go back to that one more time just to reiterate. If you try to hit the slap bracelet, and you can tell right off the bat, there's no way this is going to be moving into a fully locked triangle, abandon it. Make some more adjustments, go back to your slap bracelet. So again, right off the bat, I could tell it wasn't going to happen, so I went right back to my trap triangle. I realized this elbow was the problem. There's no way I was going to get that locked as long as he had this sort of frame from this elbow all the way out towards his head. So right there, very hard to squeeze this space because he's made a decent, like a triangular structure right here. So from there I decided, hey, you know, he's got nothing basing that direction, so I can get to the top position. Now because I'm in the top position, his weight is no longer reinforcing that elbow. In fact, my weight is about to be on the point of that elbow and drive it up towards his shoulder line. So because I'm on top now, I have a great advantage. I get up, and as I shift, you can see his elbow kind of gave there. Now he's in a position where this isn't doing him any good. I stay in the top, kind of shuck his hand out of the way, and now I start working into that top triangle. So one more point to reiterate. I think there's a lot of good stuff for you guys to pick up in this. Again, I tried the slap bracelet, didn't work, right? There was no way that I could get through that frame, but there's nothing blocking here. As this is something that happens quite frequently when I'm teaching. Someone will say, hey man, how come I can't deal with it? It's like, sometimes the answer is to take a deep breath and then think, where's the person actually vulnerable? He's reinforced his frames really well, but his base is suffering as a cause, as a part of that. So I'm able to just push and get up on top. And sometimes the answer is actually that simple when you guys are in these situations that you find pretty complex. Again, my body weight being on top means my hip shifting forward is able to loose that elbow real fast. That frame becomes useless. The shoulder's already covered by my knee, and all I have to do is lean forward to get that lock. And we can fast forward too, because Star is one of those people who will sit in a choke forever, because Star ironically likes to see stars whenever he gets choked. So we're here for quite a long time, and eventually he taps. Good. If you guys have questions about that, throw that in the comment section.